Joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show, Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line, courtesy of Doritos, one of our favorites, future Pro Football Hall of Famer from the Buffalo Bills, Von Miller, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, Von?
Howdy, Rich. Thanks for having me, man. I know I'm supposed to be back on the show, a bunch of times before this, man. But, to be here with Doritos and to be back on the show with you guys, man, it's awesome, man.
Well, look, I mean, for you can come on this show anytime you want. You don't have to shave a triangle on the back of your head to do it, Von. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that.
Yeah, it was crazy. This haircut, my own haircut, it caught the attention of Doritos.
Yes.
And I'm super excited to, invite fans across the country to name that triangle by challenging their own strength, their own self-expression, their own swag, and their own personal take on my haircut
yes.
to win a chance to go to Super Bowl 57. So an ordinary haircut, just that I've been rocking for years, caught the attention of Doritos, and all the fans are getting behind it, man. It's super cool.
So if you're saying if Doritos was shaped differently, you would not have been their spokesman for this sort of thing? Is that what you're saying?
It probably, I think me partnering with Doritos and Frito-Lay was coming.
Yes.
But I think the haircut just it sped it up for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I'm going to the Super Bowl anyway, and I know whoever you choose has the best looking triangle when they post it with that hashtag. Name that triangle is going to go to the Super Bowl. So I already have, my in, but I don't know if I just don't know if I've got the lid for it. I don't know if I've got the lid for it, but we're seeing people doing it right now. Look at this.
All you need is just the triangle in the back. Sometimes you have just hair on the sides.
Okay.
And the top is gone. But if you just go to the very bottom of the hair in the back, it don't have to be a big triangle, just a little triangle.
Well, I mean, people are shaving it. I mean, that's not going to do it, right? I mean, you can't just.
It's your own personal take. You can just fade it or do it lightly or whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'll let you know. You'll see it. You'll see it.
One triangle, you can do a couple of triangles if you want to.
Okay. You'll just look at. I'll look out for it. Hey, Von, you're getting the hang of this podcast thing. Your pod created some waves this week. I mean, this is every show is talking about your pod and what Micah Parsons said on it this week.
You know what, Rich? I've by being an athlete and me being on the other side, the media. I'm not a big hot take guy. I talk all the guys that I have on, from Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs to, Myles Garrett and Mike Evans and Calais Campbell. All the guys that we have on, I take time before the show and I walk through the whole entire show and I tell them that I'm not going off of this court. I might expand on some of the topics that we're talking about, but I'm not going to blindside you because I hate when people blindside me with questions. And of course, I've been doing this for 12 years, so I know how to kind of navigate that. But with it being my show and me having some control, I don't want to lose the respect of my colleagues around the league by being that way. So I talk to the guys and I tell them about everything that we're talking about and how we're going to talk about it. And, I did the same thing with Micah, and we're going through the show, and we're staying on our talking points and doing what we do. And then all of a sudden, Micah asked me a question.
Well, Von, if I had spoken before that episode, I would have told you under no circumstances should you give Micah the host role, because we swapped. When he showed up here in studio months ago, he said he could do my job, and I'm like, okay. And we swapped seats. He took the host seat. I took the guest chair seat, and he damn near took my job on the spot. I would have warned you against that. I would have counseled you against that, Von. I would have said, don't do it.
If you pay attention to Micah's Twitter, he has a great Twitter account.
Yes.
He speaks his mind.
He does.
He speaks his mind, and I always respect guys that speak their mind. Like I'm always a guy like I just choose to show love, even if I love up on guys, even if they maybe not deserve it, or even if it maybe isn't true. I just choose the side of love and my colleagues. I know how hard it is to play in the NFL. I just choose to up my guys instead of but Micah chose to tell his truth, and I always respect guys, that tell their truth, and it blew up. And then if you watch it again, I even tried to tried to alleviate it a little bit and ask another question, and Michael was like, nope. I think it's the team, not it. I'm like, oh, geez, Michael, what's going on?
Yeah, you did what a good host does, which was try to slow the roll of somebody who is going down the road of hot taking, but he believes it. Jalen Hurts, he really called Jalen Hurts a system quarterback when you pointed out, aren't you playing each other very soon? And the answer is yes, it's Christmas weekend, so Merry Christmas, one and all.
It's going to be a game to watch, not only because, two great teams are playing on Christmas Eve, not only because it's two great quarterbacks and two great defenses, but, all the stuff that, they add into these games. And let me tell you something, these young guys around the league, like the second-year guys and the first-year guys and the third-year guys, they really don't care about upsetting guys. Back when I was there, you kind of like, play along. But nowadays, like, guys just don't care. If they don't like you, if they not seeing something, they'll call you out on it in person. They call you out on social media, and it's just the day and age that we're living in. Micah Parsons is a hell of a player, so it doesn't matter what he says. He's going to be able to back it up on Christmas Eve, and I'm looking forward to that game.
Well, I mean, what if once upon a time, Vaughn, you went on a podcast, and what would DeMarcus Ware have told you if you called Tom Brady a system quarterback on that podcast? What would he have told you, Vaughn? What would you say? What would you say?
DeMarcus probably would have cut the whole show right there. I'll delete that, man. I'm just such a fan of. I'm really just such a fan of guys, man. Like my mind, even if they're not the most talented guys, or even if I'm going against a team, right, and say the team is 0-15 and I'm getting ready to play them, I just choose to show love and up them up and tell them that this their record is not a clear indicator of what type of team they are, and I just choose to stay in that world of stuff because at the end of the day we're all men, and real men respond. So if you call a guy out on stuff, it don't matter. And I've done that. I've played the Arizona Cardinals, and I said, hey, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna do this, and I don't care what. And we played the Cleveland Browns last year, and I said, I don't care who I'm going against. Like I've been there and I've done that, and I just know that men are gonna respond. So I just choose to just go out there and play my game, and just leave it at that. I don't want to give anybody the opportunity to motivate guys more than what they normally would be more motivated.
Von Miller here on the Rich Eisen Show. So let's jump into the general sense of what's going on with the Bills. And I first of all, so how did it work? Did you come to after your procedure and somebody had to break the news to you that your knee was hurt more, or you knew that going into your procedure, Vaughn?
No, so Dr. Cooper. I had a lot of respect for Dr. Cooper. He did, he did some of my colleagues around the league, and I've paid attention to their progress and their recovery, and they did great. And Nate Bresky here at the Buffalo Bills, we were all in Dallas, and we were having a meeting, and the MRI said that my ACL was intact and everything was good. But when Dr. Cooper tested my knee, he felt that it might be compromised. So we went in there to just do a scope, and to still give me a shot to be able to play this season.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, like, when I go in there and do this scope, I'm gonna look at the ACL and I'm gonna test it out. And if it is not, if it's compromised, then I feel like the best thing for you to do is just go ahead and get this fixed right now. And as you can imagine, there's no place in the calendar for 7 to 9 weeks recovery.
Right.
There's just no place in the football calendar. It's not a good time to do that. But he said that if it was compromised, we'd do it right now. So they're prepping my legs and they're shaving it up, and he marks the right one. Said I'm gonna scope this one, and if I go in there and if it's compromised, then we do the whole surgery. So I knew, like, going into it, that it was a possibility. I didn't think that it would happen because I still wanted to play, but I trust Dr. Cooper and went in there. I woke up and I'm all loopy, and he told me that he went ahead and did it, and I knew that was the best thing to do because I really trust Dr. Cooper and his work.
When you come to and you're no longer loopy, that had to be a blow for you, man. That had to be significant for you.
No, man, I'm all about not blinking.
Right.
I'm all about just I'm not dwelling on anything. I'm continually moving. I'm a big mindset guy, and I'm not going to be down. Of course, I want to be out there with my teammates. Of course, playing football on Sunday, sacking a quarterback, that's what I do best. That's what I do more than anything else in the world. But at the same time, I'd rather focus on the road to get back there and not actually being there. You see?
I do see. I know. And I know that you're spending some time the front office, trying to turn this moment into an opportunity for well, I guess for lack of a better phrase, internship to try and figure out becoming a general manager in this league and for down the road. So in that spirit, I want to ask you a roster question, Vaughn. Okay. What's going on with Odell? Could he still come to your team? What do you think? What do you got?
I think there's always going to be a place for Odell. I think, Odell, where he was at in his wishes, he doesn't want to rush back and, just play in games or be, forced to play in games. And, I respect Odell for that. And, he's 30 years old and he's putting his body, over, coming in and just, laying his body on the line for, a team. He did that last year with the Rams. He signed for, vet minimum, came in and, he won a Super Bowl and he was injury away. If he wouldn't have got hurt, he probably would have been the MVP of that game. And,
yeah, no doubt.
He would hit free agency and, the going tag for, wide receivers these days is 25 and up. So he was on his way to, a really nice payday, and unfortunately he had a setback. But I think it's still a place for Odell on our team. I think it's still a place for Odell on the Dallas Cowboys and all these things. I think the ball is in Odell's court, and whenever he feels comfortable to play at the level that he knows he can play at, he'll be on the team.
Well, and obviously you can't speak for him. That's clear. But are you speaking with him? Are you monitoring the situation on behalf of the Bills, Vaughn, with him?
Yeah, I guess I'm the Odell expert. I've been knowing the guy 8 years now.
Right.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not speaking for him, and I'm not speaking for the Bills. This is just my idea, and just being around a lot of great players and being on 2 Super Bowl teams, and Odell was a huge part of our Super Bowl win last year. So I know what type of value he brings to a team on and off the football field. Even if he doesn't play, just by being on the team and being around guys and having his energy wear off on other guys. Like, we got Stephon Diggs here. To have Stephon Diggs and Odell Beckham on the same team, that does wonders on and off the football field, man. But the ball is in Odell court, and whatever decision he's making, I'm all for it. He has a young son too. I have a young son, and I know whenever you have a little one, things change and priorities change. So I want him to be happy at the end of the day, and I want him to make the best decision for him and his family.
Before I let you go, Von Miller, this big game Saturday night for the Bills and the Dolphins, the weather looks to be frightful, and everybody's talking about how cold it's going to be and how the Dolphins might not be ready for it and things of that nature. How does that play into the locker room of the team that's more used to the cold weather, Vaughn? What do you got for me?
Well, now, Rich, it's 2022, and the Dolphins play in the AFC East. They got 3 cold weather teams that they play. They play the Patriots, they play the Jets, and they play the Buffalo Bills. So even though it's a cold game, even though they live in Miami, I think they'll be ready to play.
Okay.
I think that of course nobody likes playing in the cold, but I think they'll be ready. It's a lot on this game. It's a lot on the line. They got a great coach. I think, his perspective, and he's going to have everybody, focusing on the game and not the weather. So with that being said, we just got to go out there and play our style of football, the things that we do. Even though we play in the cold, there's no getting used to it. It's not like you just, grow, 6 inches of blubber around your skin and you can just go out there and sit there all day. That's not happening. But at the end of the day, we play in the cold, they play in the cold. We just go out there and have to play our game. They beat us, the first time in the heat, and now we got an opportunity to go show what we do.
All right, Von Miller. So I guess just an open-ended question. You're not done, right? You're going to keep playing football? You're going to rehab? You're going to get back out there, right?
Man, Rich, I got a 6-year deal, and right when I signed this, my mindset was to play all 6 years. So, that's another thing that really just, keeps, me you know, in a great place mentally, is knowing that, you know, I'm gonna be able to come back and have multiple shots at this thing. So no, I'm not done. My son is only one. I need to play at least, you know, 4 or 5 years for him to remember what I'm doing.
Fantastic. And again, thank you for calling on behalf of Doritos. Hashtag name that triangle now through January 15th. Put the triangle in your haircut. You're going to check it out. You put the entry on Twitter or Instagram. Chance to win 2 tickets to Super Bowl 57. Thanks to you, Von Miller. Really appreciate it. You take care of yourself, okay?
Hey, thanks, Rich, man. It's always a treat, and it's always enjoyable being on your show, man. And I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity again.
And if you ever need, you know, someone on the Voncast, you know, I don't play in Pro Bowls. I've covered Pro Bowls. You know, I see the caliber of guests that you have, and I promise not to ask you questions. Although, hey, Micah did you a favor. Everybody's talking about it. Jalen spoke about it. They're going to talk about it all the way to next week's Philly Dallas game. Vaughn, that's big.
He did, man. He did me a huge favor, man. And Micah, that's my guy, man. But Rich, I take you up on that, man. I appreciate you.
You know how to reach out. Take care, Vaughn.
Thank you.
It's Von Miller, everybody, right here on the Rich Eisen Show at Von Miller on Twitter. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.